Sociologists, like any scientists, need a plan when they set out to study the social world. This plan, called a research design, acts like an architect's blueprint, guiding how they'll gather information about their topic. Sociologists have many tools to choose from, including surveys, experiments, and observations. One particularly interesting method is non-participant observation, where researchers observe people without directly interacting with them. Non-participant observation involves researchers watching people in their natural environment without becoming part of the group they are studying. The researcher remains separate, acting like a fly on the wall, simply observing behaviors and interactions. This approach is useful when a researcher wants to study a group without influencing their actions. There are two main types of non-participant observation: overt and covert. Overt observation means the people being studied know they are being watched, but the researcher doesn't interact with them. For example, a researcher might sit in on meetings at a company, observing employee interactions without participating in the discussion. However, knowing they are being watched can sometimes cause people to change their behavior, a phenomenon known as the observer effect. Covert observation, on the other hand, involves observing people without their knowledge. A researcher might pretend to be a customer in a store to observe how employees interact with shoppers. This method reduces the risk of people changing their behavior due to being observed. But it raises ethical concerns. One major advantage of non-participant observation is that it can reveal differences between what people say and what they actually do. People don't always act the way they think they do, or the way they tell researchers they do. By simply watching, researchers can gain a more accurate understanding of behavior. Also, non-participant observation can be used to reduce researcher biases in other methods. However, non-participant observation also has its drawbacks. One challenge is interpreting the meaning behind observed behaviors. Researchers need to be careful not to impose their own biases or assumptions on what they see. It's also important to remember that observation provides a snapshot of behavior in a specific context, which may not be generalizable to other situations. Sociological research often deals with two types of data: qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative research explores subjective experiences and meanings, using non-numerical data like interviews, focus groups, and observations. Quantitative research, on the other hand, focuses on objective measurements and numerical data like surveys and experiments. Non-participant observation typically generates qualitative data, providing rich descriptions of behaviors and interactions. An example of a famous sociological study that used non-participant observation is Irving Goffman's work on total institutions, such as mental hospitals. Goffman observed the daily lives of patients and staff, noting the ways in which the institution shaped their identities and interactions. His observations provided valuable insights into the social dynamics of these environments. When conducting non-participant observation, researchers need to be mindful of ethical considerations. It's crucial to respect people's privacy and avoid causing them harm. Depending on the setting, researchers may need to obtain consent from individuals or organizations before conducting observations. They should also be aware of any legal or confidentiality agreements that may apply. In summary, non-participant observation is a valuable tool for sociological research. It allows researchers to study behavior in natural settings, providing rich, qualitative data and insights. While it has limitations, such as the potential for misinterpretation and ethical concerns, when used carefully, non-participant observation can contribute to a deeper understanding of the social world.